the lack of control. So, I get it. I totally get it.
Interesting. Blake was on this podcast here. He said he had lots of dark days. I don't know if we talked about that specifically, but that's probably what it
Yeah.
was about.
Well, it was wild to even cover it because anyone who would cover a side of the story that might not have been the popular side, people would attach you to doing just as bad of a thing. But essentially, he shared DMs that proved, he was accused of being this crazy F boy where he was manipulating, dating all these different girls and like against their knowledge. But in the DMs, the girl was actually the one who was coming to see him and wouldn't take no for an answer. He's like, "Don't come over." She's like, "I'm in an Uber." And this whole thing happened. It made her look really bad and stupid. But it's like, what did you want the guy to do? Just take one for the team during like the height of the Me Too movement? It wasn't a Me Too situation. But it was so anyway. It's like
Huh.
damn right he did the right thing, and he's got a career because of it. Because in hindsight, people go, "Yeah, boy, we were literally gonna throw this guy out." And it turns out he was just having consensual sex with people.
Wow. Jersey Shore, by the way, I mean, that just turned 15. So, I mean, good for them. But the difference with them, too, is first of all, I never knew that it was supposed to be different casts every year. I never knew
Uh,
that. Really
oh, that
interesting.
was just the idea. Well, we'll cast this group and, real world style. Every year
Yeah,
they,
that makes
you
sense
know,
now that you say it like that.
yeah.
The difference with them is like they were, because I even had, I think, Dina on this podcast right around that time. There was going to be a whole new Jersey Shore. They wanted both of them. Like now we have Family Vacation, because they're all old and that's still going. And they were going to recast and have 20 somethings living in a shore house and call it Jersey Shore. I don't know, 2 Point Jersey Shore, because we have Family Vacation. They wanted both. MTV wanted both. Like, let's keep Snooki and JWoww, and this is all working. Family Vacation is still on. A friend the other day, she's like, "It's still on." I'm like, "It's still on. I don't watch it anymore."
That
But
would be fun to watch the situation go to bed at 9 p.m. where the younger situation is going out, because that thing does happen where you now go to
oh, it was
bed.
going to be two separate shows. They were going to
Oh,
keep
okay,
Family
okay.
Vacation. No, but that too would have been great. And like Family Vacation it's like Kardashians. It has like scripted situations where they do things. It's still look if you like you have to
Sure.
admit Snooki's great at what she does. They're great. They're great TV still. So it's interesting, but I mean, they're not trying to pretend that
Oh
like
yeah,
Paulie.
Jersey Shore brought in like Jason Tartick. They like had this weird rumor that he was going to be hooking up with, they had some like they were at like a flag football game and it was so contrived and people ate it up. It was like, good God bless them, but it was like so not a thing.
People love them. So they did well, like in the modern age, like you said, like I don't know what they negotiated, but they got great deals. Like, whereas the Housewives, it is what it is, but the Jersey Shore people make a shitload of money.
Yeah. I actually just did a show. I was at the New York Comedy Festival and Vinny was on the stand-up show right before me. So we shared the green room together because he's doing comedy now. Which just goes to show you can if you've made enough of an audience, there are several things you're guaranteed you can do. DJ, stand-up comedy, or strip. Like there's certain things if you can do any one of those three, or because like obviously Ariana, like if she had a bad voice, she wasn't going to get cast on Chicago. She had a good enough voice to do Broadway live and also draw in a whole new audience. Genius of them to be like, whatever you got to do to keep the show going. So you'll probably see more of that. I mean, Vinny was the MC for Chippendales or, one of those Magic Mike shows. And
Yeah.
obviously, Paulie D was opening for Britney Spears. He's got his own DJ situation, kind of went on the brand where he, went to jail, but was selling fitness abs. It's like, yeah, your literal thing is your abs. Go sell a fitness wheel. So they all did whatever they could. And then it's like business schools should be analyzing the post influencer marketplace because you got people like Jessica Simpson. She was a fucking pop star and she made all of her money selling boots. God bless her. Kim Kardashian's selling, made a lingerie line. So it's like,
Skims is I mean, Kim could just say, "I'm never showing up for this reality thing again."
yeah,
I mean, granted, she could do that for a lot of reasons, but Skims is like a mega fucking brand. It's
yeah,
like
her
it's
sister's a
crazy.
billionaire because of makeup. She's not going to sourcing the, whatever. I mean, sure, they're showing up and smelling things and choosing. Like there is a level of obvious, like they're in it, but like they find the expert and then they their brand endorses that. It's old school QVC in the modern world. And what you realize is, like, with comedy, most comedians, when they tour the road, make more money selling their own t-shirt than they do than they do actually performing on stage. It's like you become like a touring t-shirt salesman. And it's
Interesting.
because you have control over that t-shirt. So for every $20 t-shirt you sell, you're keeping $17 on that. And for every $20 ticket you sell on stage doing comedy, you ain't getting $17 until you're at the size where you get to name your door deal, like where you can negotiate that. And anyway, but it's the same thing on a different scale when you're like these big influencers where it's like, yeah, they're making, you're gonna, if you have a product to sell, be authentic with it, find out what that is, and the world is yours if you can market. Like the person who sells glitter, face freckle glitter. I had her on my show. She Taylor Swift wore her glitter, and now they're going to be in every CVS across the country. Their sales boosted by $4 million. She sells glitter freckles. Phase It. That's the name of the company, I think. So it just goes to show, influencer or not, you get the right person attached to your product. But I mean, that's like if you write a screenplay, oh, good. But if you can get an A-lister attached to that screenplay, if Sydney Sweeney wants to do your rom-com right now, they're gonna make that rom-com. They're gonna get in there and they're gonna make that rom-com. So it's like having that audience. You're either gonna get on Chicago or you're gonna do whatever. You're gonna you get to, if you have that equity, you name your price.
So we need like Kim Kardashian, Kylie, or Taylor Swift to listen to our podcast in 2025.
Can you imagine? I've always said, like, oh,
No.
by the way, I had one reel go viral about what face oils I use. I don't know why. I've got every A-lister. My Instagram will tell me who liked it, and I'll be like,
Yeah.
honey, we were literally like pop stars were liking this. And I was like, oh my gosh. And again, it led to nothing because it's Instagram. It wasn't them liking my podcast. It was them liking, the coconut oil I put on my face. But I was like, it just goes to show you're always one piece of content away from blowing up. You really are. I haven't done that, but you really are.
No, I mean that's what yeah, you are. You're right. No, yeah, that's what Instagram, don't even get me started. I don't care about Instagram at all either. It's like first of all, the algorithm is so ridiculous. But no, I've gone on food rants here on this podcast. Just like I like weird food combinations that people are like, you should do a food podcast. Like I've had viral moments with that. And I'm like, well, first of all, there's no time to do a whole second show. But thank you. But I guess when you put it like that, you are one moment away from just going completely viral. I
Yeah,
guess
when you
that's
take
what it
like
is.
we talked about hitting the lottery. In the modern lottery, I have a bit about this on stage where like we live in a time where the wealth gap is actually bigger than the Gilded Era. And in the Gilded Era, the JP Morgans, you had these billionaires, like four or five of them. And then if you weren't one of those, the only way to make money was to go on the gold rush and to go west and try to look for gold. And today's gold rush is social media virality. And when you think about it, if you've made it like Ariana did or Jersey Shore did, then you really just sit down with your team and you go, what do I want to sell? Whether it be a brand or a magazine. Oprah makes a magazine. Like, what do I want to sell that is in core alignment with who I am? And the people that just do the twisted tea or whatever, that doesn't work unless your brand is you love vodka. Well, if you love vodka, go make a Dos Osos vodka like Bert Kreischer did, and go make a bunch of money doing your tequila. If that's what you love, you have to love it. So that's the question. Like when you take off, you're gonna go, well, maybe I do love food. Maybe I am like a food blogger that I didn't know about it. And if you have a good passion towards it, people will be like, dude, I can't wait till David eats that Uncrustable. I can't wait to hear what he has to say about the new whatever. And like people will be excited to live through your excitement.
Yes and yes. Although I think what people do wrong is well, first of all, the difference is having a viral moment in a way, if you're not established, means nothing. Like, it's like you say, like, it means something, but it's like you say consistency. Like, people listen to you and people listen to me because we are here every damn day or
Yeah,
whatever
you have
your
to
schedule is.
replicate it. You have to be able to replicate whatever it is that goes viral. And
So,
we
right.
replicate it by talking about the things we love.
Right. And so it's like slow and steady wins the race. It's like, I mean, I appreciate my audience. I love them, but I mean, thank you. I'm great at what I do. I'm good. I'm interesting. There's nothing special about me. I mean, I have my own nuances, but I get